Supermarkets say shoplifting is on the rise, but many families argue it's sex because everyday essentials have become unaffordable. This clip shows just how bad the cost of living crisis has hit.
I've got a problem. Ketchup. Why is ketchup nearly £5? Why is cornflakes nearly £5? Don't even get me started on corned beef in the UK, because we all remember how cheap that used to be. And now it's like doubled in price. These supermarkets, especially these bigger ones, are complaining about people stealing from them, shoplifting, especially during the cost of living crisis. Even washing powder. They're complaining that people are stealing from them during the cost of living crisis, yet they had no problem massively increasing their prices. Now, I get it on some goods, but I feel like some of these big supermarkets have decided to increase off of the back of the cost of living crisis and make as much as they possibly can. Because for some of the items, there's absolutely no reasoning as to why you've increased it by the amount you have. Instead of complaining about people robbing you and shoplifting, reduce your prices. People are struggling. People are going to steal in order to survive.
Please speak to the nearest colleague for assistance. Thank you.
Shoplifting in the UK has reportedly risen by over 20% in just the past year. The government is now rolling out AI and facial recognition cameras in supermarkets, but critics say this targets the symptoms, not the cause. Here's one perspective on the issue.
Breaking news, people, shoplifting has risen by 23% in the last year alone, and a lot of people believe it's due to the cost of living crisis. But people aren't too happy with the UK government, because the UK government are now introducing AI technology and facial recognition cameras to make sure any thieves are caught. This comes at a time where retailers and supermarkets have lost over £8 billion year on year due to these petty crimes. But since records began, this is the highest it's ever been in 2025, and last year alone, we saw more than 500 offences committed that we know about. But year on year, it keeps on increasing, and all you need to do is look at the National Office of Statistics to see that the percentages keep on rising, and this year it's a whopping 23% increase. Now, a lot of people believe this is due to the cost of living crisis, energy costs rising, and wages not going up. So it looks like the UK government are doing something about it, but essentially it's actually to stop people doing it rather than actually help people in the local communities. Now, I want to see what you guys think. What is the best solution for this? Obviously, a lot of people are struggling due to the cost of living crisis. And as you can see from the CCTV footage behind me, so many more people are doing it. But let me know what you think.
Ever wondered why your grocery bill feels higher than it should? Some say shoplifting is part of the reason, with supermarkets passing the cost back to honest customers. This next clip breaks it down.
Shoplifters are adding £150 more to your food bill every year. Let me explain. Shoplifting in the UK has surged, up 20% in just 1 year. And just look at this graph. Things are not good. It's been reported that shops are passing on these losses to you, the customer, by raising food prices to cover increased theft, meaning you pay an extra £147 more than you would if people didn't shoplift. Now, supermarkets are trying to stop this issue, as does testing facial recognition. Iceland is giving customers £1 to report shoplifters, and Poundland has given body cameras to its staff. But until shoplifting comes down, it won't be the criminals paying the price. It will be you at the checkout.
Let me take. What's that? What? Let me take. Sure. Steve, none of them using them. Put it up. If you're hungry, if you take a bread, I don't mind. Okay. What the? Don't ever come back, yeah? Don't ever come back.
What's inside your pocket? No. Wait. What's inside there?
Nothing, man. No.
While the government pushes facial recognition cameras to crack down on shoplifting, many argue that tackling the cost of living crisis itself would stop crime before it starts. This clip makes that point loud and clear.
Just heard on the radio that shoplifting in the UK has gone up by 25%. And the way the government are going to deal with this, wait for it, face recognition cameras. Brilliant. So we're going to shove more people in jail, which is going to cost the country more money. How about they sort the cost of living crisis out, where people can't afford to feed the families, heat the homes and whatnot, and even put fuel in the cars and stuff like that, which is forcing people to react and do stupid things like shoplifting. If I can see that, then surely they can. I don't know if anyone agrees with this. Hopefully you do. But yeah, that's what they need to sort out. Stop these companies, the energy companies, from profiteering in the petrol stations and sort the cost of living crisis out. Not stick a load more in prison and fit a load of face recognition cameras around the country. No, thank you.
The cost of living crisis in the UK is pushing families to desperate measures. Shops report record thefts, and it's not just about crime, it's about survival. Here's what's really happening.
I swear, sometimes it feels like this country is just the bearer of bad news, and this one is serious. Shoplifting in England and Wales has hit the highest level on record since data began in 2003. Over 530,000 offences were recorded last year, and that is a 20% jump in just 12 months. This isn't just petty crime. Retailers are now having to deal with organised gangs, systematic theft, and rising violence against staff. Shops are being hit for electronics, designer clothes, cosmetics, alcohol. It's not just groceries anymore. Theft from shops cost the UK £2.2 billion, up from £1.8 billion the year before. And it's not just big chains like Co-op, John Lewis or Primark. Small businesses and corner shops are starting to feel the pressure, especially as the cost of living squeezes people harder. But here's the thing, this isn't just about rising crime, it's about rising desperation. Inflation, stagnant wages, and unaffordable housing. And the result is you get a country where people are stealing baby formula and hygiene products just to get by. Retail bosses say this wave of theft isn't taken seriously. Police forces are overstretched, and up until now, stealing £200 worth of goods was classed as a summary offence with limited consequences. Now that's finally being reviewed, but for some businesses, the damage has already been done. This isn't just a retail issue, it's a social and economic problem, and it's getting worse, not better. Because when crime like this is normalized, it says something bigger about where we are as a country. We need more than just tougher laws. We need policies that tackle the root cause of this problem. Otherwise, this trend will not stop and it will just continue. But as always, I'm interested to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about this?
Baby formula prices in the UK have skyrocketed, forcing families to spend a fortune just to feed their children. Here's what's happening and why it's causing real hardship.
So I went to Asda today, and going on the video I made yesterday, I took a picture of the formulas and the prices of the formula that I will get up in a second, and I was shocked. We only use Cowgate, but I was shocked at how much Aptamil is, and like SMA, that obviously I just couldn't believe it, like the prices of the other ones, because I've never looked, because we always use Cowgate. So let me get them up for you and we'll go through how ridiculous the prices are now. So as you can see in the picture, this is like the Aptamil bit in Asda, in my local Asda anyway. So as you see, like one tub is £14.50, and that's not even like special reflux milk or anything like that. That's just normal bog standard milk. That's £14.50 for one jar. Like, that's madness. And what really shocked me is, I'm going to get the next picture up, so they do Aptamil Advance. If you can just see the prices at the top up there, so they're Aptamil Advance, they're £18 for one tub of milk. £18. It's like, where do they think they're getting this money from? And you can see in the corner that's £19. Let me get the picture up so you can see that they're just like one tub. They're not big packs, they're not anything, they're just one pack. So yeah, as you can see, look, it's just a normal pack of full milk, and it's £19. Like, that's insane. And then I looked at the SMA, because normally that's like the cheap alternative, they say, I think. So let me get that up for you. So yeah, as you can see, SMA is round about the £9 mark, £13, £13.25, £15.75. Like, they're still quite highly priced. If you look, so the cheapest one they've got is £9.25. It's still like really expensive for one tub of milk. Like, how do they expect people to spend that much a week? Is insane. So I also took pictures of the Cowgate. So this is the Cowgate. So for just a normal number one milk is £10.50. That has gone up because it was just hitting £10 when Teddy was born a year ago. So that's gone up 50p in the last year, well, I did, like, it was £10.25 in Co-op, but I always knew it to be £10 in Tesco's and stuff like that. So that's gone up 50p within the year, and that's just mental. Absolutely insane. That's gone up by 50p in a year. Like, it's madness. It's absolutely mad. I don't understand how they expect people to pay for this, because it's a need. Like, and I think these companies should be called upon, and government should put a full blanket ban on not being able to charge extortionate prices, like out to milk £18. Like, I get it's an advanced milk, so obviously if you just buy the normal one, but that's still £14. And obviously it's your choice what you pick. We always go with Cow and Gate, but still, it's insane. I don't know how they're allowed to do it. So I think we need to just put our foot down at this rate. So let's see what happens.
I'm at the grocery store in Scotland, and what is going on in the UK? This is a pork loin, and it's security protected. What? Why is this security protected? And why is only this security protected? The lamb isn't, the chicken isn't, the salmon isn't, but the pork is. All right, I just spoke with the clerk, and he said that it's because the pork gets stolen a lot. Not the lamb, not the chicken. For some reason, they steal the pork and resell it, he guesses. He's not sure. It's just whatever the head office tells them. And for some reason, they security tag the pork. So even the guy in the store doesn't know why the pork is security tagged. So while that was a helpful answer, it clears nothing up. So if you know what's going on with pork in the UK and why it's being security tagged and why it's being stolen, leave a comment. Let me know.
Supermarkets are now putting everyday items like steaks in security cases and even raising prices to deter shoplifters. But many customers say this only punishes honest shoppers. Here's one reaction.
Trust me when I tell you, you are not going to believe this. Do you know where we're going with this? It's Friday night. I haven't been very well. I thought, do you know what? I'll treat myself and my son. This has happened. Lovely little £2.25 price hike. Look at all of this. Can you see all those steaks and meat in those protective cases? Now, the irony of this is, when I asked Sainsbury's what the Jimmy Riddlers is going on here, this is what they told me. Now, please listen clearly. This is what Sainsbury's told me. It's for the shoplifters. The price hike is to deter the shoplifters. The price hike of £2.25 on a double pack of steaks is because of the shoplifters. I said, I am going to be writing a complaint. They're not paying for the steaks, are they? They're shoplifting them. So how is it a deterrent? They're not paying for it. Meanwhile, in the south of bloody France and a few other countries recently, we've got every possible steak, ham, sausage, meat, cheese, exotic fruit, expensive bottles of champagne, just there in the supermarket. Can you see anything there in a security case? And I might add, the entire time I was there, I either had a phone in my hand or a phone on a selfie stick. Not once did anyone attempt to take my phone or anybody else's, or attempt to steal a single thing in open shops, open markets, open displays everywhere. The UK has literally gone to the dogs. All I'm going to say to people like Sainsbury's, go and put a steak in a security case in a supermarket in France and see what happens. See what the French do, because I'm going to tell you what, Sainsbury's. Unfortunately, I will never step foot in this Sainsbury's again. I am not going to fund the shoplifters. Now, if I was the CEO of Sainsbury's, I'm going to tell you what I would do. Number one, get rid of the security guard. He's a lovely guy. I've spoke to him a few times. Get rid. He can't do anything. He's just looking because he's not even allowed to put hands on. Get rid of him. Use that money to give somebody else a job. Take all your steaks, your cheese, your butter, and whatever bloody else you want to put in a security thing and shove it behind a glass deli. And then people have to pay you, give you the money before they take the item. Simple. But putting a simple steak up by £2.25 to deter people that aren't even paying for anything anyway because they're shoplifters is literally the common sense of the UK right now, isn't it? Down the bloody toilet, down the Swanee, over the hills and far away.
Shoplifting in the UK isn't just about petty theft, it's hitting record levels, costing billions, and sometimes turning violent. Here's why this crisis is spiraling out of control.
The UK is now officially a country of shoplifters. There were a massive 20.4 million instances of theft last year. And the thing that blows my mind about this is that the last time I did a video about it, a load of people were like, oh, it's okay to steal from supermarkets. Really? Because let's look at what comes along with these innocent thefts. On average, there are 70 thefts a day, which involve the use of a weapon such as a knife. There are 124 instances a day of violence. And if we broaden that category slightly to include abuse of shop workers, it goes up to a massive 2,000 instances a day. I confronted a shoplifter just last week and I got abuse in the comments and also in real life as well, verbal abuse. And to those defending it, the actual cost of the thefts is around £2.2 billion a year. Some people believe that this makes up for the fact that supermarkets make large profits. While supermarkets do often make profits, their actual profit margin is exceptionally low. And when we add to that additional costs which get incurred to help prevent future thefts, things like cameras, security guards and all that kind of stuff, we're looking at £4.2 billion a year. And all I can say is, Keir, you need to sort this out big time. And while you're at it, can you also make sure that people can actually afford to buy the food they need to?
You wouldn't steal baby formula and give it to a food bank. Or would you? These activists are doing just that, shoplifting from supermarket shelves and dumping the proceeds straight into the store's food bank bins.
Just in Tesco today, taking nappies off the shelves to redistribute into food banks.
The reason that we're doing this is because the supermarkets in this country have been raising their prices ahead of the rate of inflation, essentially stealing from normal people in order to line their pockets with profits.
The protest comes as food bank usage has surged alongside spiralling inflation. Many supermarkets now have collection bins for food banks. Last year, Tesco was praised for launching a reverse food bank where shoppers could buy and donate goods. Meanwhile, supermarkets have also been accused of driving inflation. The top three supermarkets, Tesco, Sainsbury's and Asda, have taken advantage of increased food costs and doubled their profits to $3.2 billion in 2021, up 97% on 2019. Trade union Unite calls this greedflation, although supermarkets deny this.
Are you profiteering?
Absolutely not.
Ironically, supermarket workers, often poorly paid themselves, are among those forced to turn to food banks. The campaign group behind the shoplifting actions is This Is Rigged. Founded in December 2022, the group links the cost of living crisis with the climate crisis.
Corporations like Sainsbury's are driving climate change and biodiversity loss.
The group's Robin Hood supermarket action was inspired by British farmers who took milk off supermarket shelves in 2015 to protest the low prices they were getting paid for their produce, and by the French energy workers who send cheap electricity to schools, hospitals, and working class communities. Activists from This Is Rigged are openly promoting their activities on social media. They don't believe that their activities are illegal because they're not actually removing items from the supermarkets, but that they're willing to accept the consequences for their actions. A Sainsbury's spokesperson said, "We're acutely aware of the pressures facing millions of households right now, and our number one priority continues to be doing all we can to keep prices low for our customers."
With the UK cost of living skyrocketing, some people are now stealing meat and reselling it just to make ends meet. Here's the shocking reality behind these desperate measures.
People in the UK are now stealing meat from supermarkets and reselling it to pay their bills. This video has recently surfaced online, and check this out, because this man has gone into the co-op, taken loads of legs of lamb, steaks and stuff, and then is reselling it down these back alley. Now, I've never seen anything quite like this. As you can see, he's got eggs, he's got bread, he's got loads of different flanks of meat. It looks like there might be some sausages and stuff in there. Now, I have never seen anything like this. Apparently, people are saying that this is due to the cost of living crisis crisis. This man has obviously been going around taking stuff from co-ops and other places and then just selling it on to people for like half the price. And obviously meat is pretty expensive now. In the last year alone, some meat such as the finest range has gone up by 50% some places. And now I want to see what you guys think about this. Is this a cost of living crisis situation, or has this been happening long before the cost of living crisis? Now, I've definitely seen this before in certain towns. This is happening up and down the country, but is it happening more frequently? We are seeing a bigger presence of security guards in supermarkets now, but interestingly, they can't actually physically get involved anymore because really they're just there as a visual deterrent to make it cheaper for the supermarket's insurance. Now, let me know what you think about this. What do you think about this? Is this a bad move? Because I think it is.
Shoplifting is rapidly spiralling out of control as new figures have shown that retail workers are suffering from 2,000 acts of violence every single day. And according to the British Retail Consortium, retail crime hit a new high last year, with violence up more than 50% and retailers losing 2.2 billion, with a growing number of this being linked to gangs. And the reality is criminals are getting more bold and more aggressive because shop employees do nothing, as they should, I would add, because unless they're specially trained to deal with shop theft and paid appropriately, then doing nothing is exactly what they should do. I've heard that Greggs is now known as the free food shop because you can just walk in and take what you want, and one of the reasons for this is because of the Shoplifters Charter, which basically decriminalised thefts that are worth less than £200. Also doesn't help that the police don't even bother to turn up, so gangs can just happily shoplift to order, then resell. And for me, I would just avoid the retail sector, because unless shops take this seriously and hire appropriate security, then the problem's only going to get worse and this is going to hurt profit margins.